When you get pulled over, you should definitely hand over your weed when trying to convince the police officer that you're sober. Good afternoon, everyone. Gianni from the Plot Hole, and today I have very many videos for you.
Would you say I have a plethora?
A what?
A plethora.
Oh, yes, you have a plethora.
What is a plethora?
Why do you ask?
Well, you told me I have a plethora, and I just would like to know if you know what a plethora is. I would not like to think that a person would tell someone he has a plethora and find out that that person has no idea what it means to have a plethora.
Maybe we should just start the show. I'll take that as a yes. Let's get into it. Now, if you're like me, you often wonder how and where frauditors got their start. Well, as it so happens, I just happen to have a video, early childhood video of Chili de Castro as he gets his bearings together. Let's check it out. Well, look at him go. I mean, Chili was getting his practice in at a very early age. All right, this next video comes from Whisk Boy as he tells us all that he has no idea what security is.
This area is closed?
Yeah, this area is closed right now.
When will it reopen, sir?
I don't know. I don't know that right now.
How come select people are allowed, like the news?
Probably because they're at the White House, where they could be reporting on a speech, maybe a bill is passed, or some kind of hearing. I mean, who knows?
Press is allowed because they're authorized.
Well, I'm the press too.
Do you have press credentials?
The First Amendment is my press credential, sir.
I'm sorry, but you need press credentials to get on here.
Well, I work for myself. I don't... Credentials are given to by CNN, Fox, so forth. I work for myself, sir.
No, press credentials aren't given by CNN, Fox, etc. They're given by the White House, specifically the Office of Press Relations. Now, they do this in order to make sure that they properly vet every reporter that comes in. Now, why would we want to properly vet the people we let into the White House? Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
I have hundreds of millions of views. Actually, 1 week this year, me and my boy, we have more views than CNN. Does that count for anything?
No, you have to have press credentials to get
So
on.
the First Amendment only applies to certain corporations. Is that what you're telling me? That's what you're telling me. Because the First Amendment, because back when we had a king, the king could say, okay, you could be a journalist, you could be a steel maker, you could make barrels, you could be a cooper, right? But the reason why we have the First Amendment is that anybody could work on a story.
Maybe I'm being a little too nitpicky, but the United States never had a king, and no one is stopping you from working on your story. You just can't get into the White House without passing proper security checks. Because it's the White House.
So now this is selective enforcement here when you only allow certain corporations access to a public area while not a regular individual. Do you see the problem with that?
Yes, the problem here is that you're questioning the wrong damn person. Now, this officer here has no involvement of who or what kind of requirements are required to get into the press area. That's not his job. I mean, this is going nowhere fast. So let's move on to the next video.
Why aren't you stopping for me?
So I can pull somewhere safe.
Okay, where I picked was safe over there. That's when I light
That
up
was
my...
right there by that stop. That's why I did like this. And then I was all the way over this way.
When a law enforcement officer turns its lights on, you need to stop. That's where I decided to stop you. Where I decided for you to pull over, that's where you need to pull over. Okay? You don't get to choose where to pull over.
Now, here's where I'll disagree with this officer. Whereas it's not the brightest idea to prolong your pulling over or trying to find a safe place to pull over, I do think that we should be allowed a little bit of leeway in order to find a well-lit place that's away from traffic. Best practice in this situation, slow down, turn on your hazards, and phone either the police station or 911 and ask to be transferred to dispatch and let them know what your intentions are.
All right, so have you been drinking or anything tonight? The way you were driving was just... You're all over the road, and then you're hopping the curb over here. You're not pulling over when you're supposed to.
You pull me over. I'm nothing's wrong. I don't even drink. Never.
Far be it from me to question this nice young lady here, but I'm smelling something that smells like farm fresh fertilizer. That's bullshit in case you didn't get that.
Are you under the influence of anything
No,
else?
please, y'all, please do not play me. Well, I can't even get reception.
Okay, well, I'm talking to you, so you don't need reception right now.
I do, because I feel like my rights has always been violated. I have my registration plates.
Yeah, but the reason that you're pulled over is because you have other plates on the vehicle. You can't be doing that. So
I did not know that. I would like.
And that's why I'm pulling you over to let you know.
When, not a lot of times, but more than once, I have been pulled over in this car and they never said nothing about the plates.
What are you being pulled over for?
Traffic violation.
Okay.
All that you see on there.
Okay.
Also, don't volunteer any information in this situation because you're not doing anything that's going to help your I'm not under the influence cause.
I don't have no connection.
So you don't have a driver's license, so you're not going to be able to drive away in the vehicle, correct?
I'm going to the person with the driver's license from work.
You're coming from work?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Do you have something on the floorboard over there that they're looking at?
He's talking about this shit right here. He just searching my car.
What's that?
I'm not under the influence. I already just went through this shit. Already.
Well, I mean, the absolute best way to prove that you're not under the influence is to hand over the substance that you're under the influence of. That's a surefire way to get out of this whole situation, don't you think? Oh, I'm sure it's just a multivitamin.
I'm not smoking.
It says it contains THC.
I'm not smoking or anything.
Okay. Why don't you step out of the car, okay?
Go ahead, no.
You just handed me a THC. You can't have THC.
See? Just a multivitamin. Vitamins T, H, and C.
Let me step out of the vehicle for me.
No way.
You got THC in the vehicle. You just handed it to me. You're not.
That's CBD. Y'all violate my rights.
It says it contains THC.
Well, just let me get a video started and all of that.
Step out.
Wait. Okay, hold on. I'm not gonna resist. I'm not gonna resist. I'm not resisting. I am. Please, I'm not resisting. I will. I will. Listen, I will.
Put your hands behind your back, all right?
Oh my God, I'm not resisting. Hold on, don't break my phone. Literally, please.
Then stop resisting.
I'm not.
Stop tensing up.
I'm not
tensing up.
Listen, look,
Put your
here,
hands
don't
behind
break the
your
phone. It's behind my back. There you go, there's the phone. Y'all is literally violating the fuck out of me. And I'm literally not resisting at all. Can I see the phone now?
No, you cannot.
Turns out, though, that this wasn't the only multivitamin that she had in her car. After the police searched her car, they found, we'll call it vitamin X, another white powdery substance that used to go into soda, scales, and some cash. I mean, what can she say? She's just really into that healthy lifestyle. Our last video comes via Calvin J. Dean from TikTok. Let's check it out. Oh, and I promise this will be the only interruption on this particular video. I forgot to warn you to grab your tissue. Yes, good people still exist. Kudos to both teams for encouraging that youngster to live out a dream and making that possible for this young athlete. I had to include this little bit of positivity to remind us all that it's still out there. We can still do some good things. So, you know, there we are. There's a little bit of feel good for the day. Maybe this is just a football game to some, but to that individual, it meant the world. And that's our show. If you enjoyed yourself, hit that like button on your way to the next video. Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell like frauditors hit their heads on the pavement when shocked so you don't miss an episode. I want to send a special shout out to all my channel members and patrons. Your continued support truly means the world to me. Be sure to join the live show tonight as I welcome special guest Mark Stout as we discuss his journey from frauditor to frauditor reformed. As always, I'm Johnny O, and we know what time it is. That's right, it's that time. It's time. What time is it? Finger guns, baby.